Hello and welcome, or welcome back to the Unbound Soul Tarot. I'm so glad that you have found your way to me and that you have decided to click on this reading. So today we are going to be doing this really cute, soft and gentle reading, which is going to be all about the messages that either angels or other divinity wish to tell you. So if you are interested in what sort of supportive messages these divine beings have for you, then definitely stay tuned. And as always, we're going to start off with looking at the piles that you get to choose from. For today, each pile is represented by a different tarot deck. And to make it easier for you to choose, I have laid out the High Priestess cards from each of these tarot decks to help you figure out which visual style, which energy you best vibe with. And so let's go through them. For pile number 1, we have the Kawaii Tarot. For pile number 2, we have Autumn Mist Tarot. And for pile number 3, we have the cute Chibi Tarot. If you know exactly which pile is calling out your name, then you can go down into the description box and click on the timestamp that you need. That will take you straight to your reading. If you feel called to watch more than one pile, that's absolutely fine. You can go ahead and do that as well. Maybe there are several messages in there for you. But if you need some assistance on how to go about choosing the right pile for you, then first off, try and get yourself as relaxed and present in this moment as you possibly can. If you are surrounded by any outside distractions, any loud noises, anything like that, then try and get yourself to a quiet space where you could really calm yourself down, take some deep breaths, close your eyes and see what you are feeling. Really get in touch with your physical body so that when you open your eyes again and you take a look at these piles, see what you are drawn to. Which of these colors is pulling you in? Maybe there is something, a specific symbol somewhere that your eye keeps pulling you towards. Maybe you feel a nudge within. There is a physical sensation of sorts. Maybe you hear something. Whatever way your intuition speaks to you, trust that voice and follow it. But as I also always say, please don't forget to use your discernment as you are listening to these general messages. And now, without further ado, let's get to the readings. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 1. My name is Helen and I want to welcome you to this reading today. I am so happy that you have chosen to spend your time with me. Now, a quick disclaimer, I don't know, I keep starting my videos off like that recently, but I'm actually a bit under the weather. I have a slight cold, so if my voice is a little weird or yeah, I just seem kind of off, then that is the reason why. Hopefully I can get through these messages and yeah, it's going to be okay. But anyway, pile number 1. Let's get straight to it. So we are going to get into the pre-prepared oracle cards and get an overview of what it is that you are currently dealing with, what you are going through. And based on that little description, it should be fairly easy for you to see whether you recognize yourself or not. And yeah, that way you can be sure that you are watching the right pile, or conversely, check out maybe another pile instead. So let's take a look and see what we have for you. Okay, we have the 6th house. We have Rose and Feminine. Black Moon. We have Heart and Love. And we have the 12th house. Interesting. We have the 6th and 12th axis. So pile number 1. I have a feeling that your reading and the energy that you are most preoccupied with right now is very much tied to the mundane, the sort of everyday, day-to-day life, and especially things that are related to your habits or maybe your work as well, or simply the tasks and responsibilities that you have every single day. There could be something that you are trying to restart or trying to take up again. Maybe this is something tied to your health or a workout regime or something like that. And the reason why I feel that that may be a case for someone here is because of the 6th house card and the feminine card. The 6th house in astrology is very specifically tied to any health issues, health matters, health related topics, wellness in general, but more so to do with physical health and physical wellness. And so with the next card here with the feminine energy as well, it feels like you are very preoccupied with taking care of yourself, making yourself feel better, maybe making yourself look better as well. Maybe you are trying to change your diet, change your eating habits. Maybe you are trying to switch up a skincare routine or something like that. It just feels like you are tying a lot of your energy into things that are related to your sort of, again, day-to-day habits and just things that are conducive to, again, your well-being, everything about you that needs sort of taking care of, that needs tending to. But if it's not specifically tied to your own sort of personal self-care, it can also mean that you are taking care of something or someone that you care a lot for, because we also have this love card. And so regardless of whether this is talking about self-love or love for something or someone else, it definitely emphasizes this strong emotion, strong feeling, strong passion and attachment to something that is urging you to take action, that is urging you to make these moves. Now, we have this black moon as the center card. This is very strongly hinting at second chances and having this lucky break or lucky opportunity. That's why I was feeling that this restating something or starting something again, giving something a second chance or a new try, it could be tied to this card right here. Maybe it's something that at one point you used to do, but that you didn't have time for anymore, or something kind of came up, or maybe your priorities shifted as well for a time. But again, this feels like it's sort of coming back around now. And again, you seem very motivated to give this thing a chance, to give this thing a try. As I said, this could also be related to work and your sort of daily responsibility. So maybe it's something that has to do with things around the house and your sort of responsibilities at home, things that you sort of need to take care of. But maybe there is some sort of a passion project or a DIY project that you had to either put on hold or maybe postpone or something like that. Maybe there were certain financial difficulties, or maybe there were, again, other issues that came up that prevented you from going through with this sprucing up the home or sort of sprucing up your life in general. But now I feel like you are very much focused on going through with this and, again, sort of taking things or taking matters back into your own hands. Now, we also have this 12th house card here. And this can very much hint at certain fears or difficulties. And I feel like it may be referring to, again, either something that got in the way the first time around. So that could have been some sort of an illness or maybe a loss of some kind. Maybe there were certain difficulties that you were dealing with mentally, because the 12th house is often tied to the mental health realm as well. So it's, again, much more mental rather than the 6th house, which is much more physical. So yeah, there could have been all of these different factors, all of these distracting forces or things like that that may have gotten in the way. and that you are now sort of overcoming, or that you are now able to push to the side. But again, with the 12th house, as I said, this is also tied to certain fears, and especially when it comes to things that are kind of hidden. So there may be these hidden motivations, or maybe subconscious blocks as well. And so it could be that this whole thing that you are now taking up again, or that you are now starting to focus on more, or that you have this new chance regarding, it may be something that you thought you had lost, or that you thought you had missed out on. But again, I feel like you are very much determined and motivated and focused on turning things around and taking charge, taking care of this thing or this person or yourself that you are so sort of passionate about and that you are so driven by. So yeah, that is what is coming through from these cards, pile number 1. If you resonate with this story, or this made sense to you, then this is your pile most likely, and you should really stick around, because now we are going to get to the sort of the core of the reading. And first off, what we are going to do is we are going to take a look at which angel or divinity wishes to speak to you today, which divine energy is wanting to come through. So let's see. Oh, wow. Okay. So we have Jesus, forgiveness, compassion, and the spiritual teacher are some of the keywords that are on this card. But I am also going to read from the guidebook so that we could get a more detailed overview of the energy that is coming through. Known as the Son of God in the Christian faith, Jesus is also respected and revered in other spiritual traditions and is considered an ascended master to many of the New Age path. Jesus' teachings were, and still are, about love, compassion, forgiveness, and peace. Jesus was a teacher, healer, and spiritual activist, and he included anyone in his community who wished to join without judgment. He did not create rules and dogma for his followers. Rather, he invited them to look within and to move through the world with compassion and peace in their hearts and love for all beings. Jesus works with the heart and crown chakras, supporting you in opening up to more love, compassion, and higher wisdom. Okay, so yeah, it's interesting that we got the heart card here too, with the keyword love. So clearly, the feeling of love and being driven by this surge of warmth is something that is very much in the cards here. And I also find it interesting that the keyword of forgiveness was coming through, because again, with the 12th house here, and like we were already talking about, that maybe something came up and maybe there were some hindrances or blocks or anything like that in the past, and maybe you thought that you had lost out on something for good, or that you had messed up somehow. So maybe this forgiveness aspect is also talking about you forgiving yourself for something in the past. But anyway, let's actually get to the messages that Jesus, who is coming through today, wants to tell you. So first off, let's see why Jesus specifically is coming through. Okay. So we have the Two of Cups in reverse with the King of Wands, and we have the Devil that is coming out in reverse as the underlying energy. So I feel like the reason why Jesus specifically is coming through today is because there has been some sort of a disconnect. And most likely this is a disconnect that you have felt with yourself or within yourself. Now, I know that I was also talking about this reading, potentially talking about something, or your relationship with someone else, or your relationship with something else as well. And that may be the case. But for some reason, I feel really strongly that this is talking about some sort of a connection with the self more strongly. So of course, take it as it resonates, and place the details into your life as they fit. But the Two of Cups in reverse is just feeling like there has been a slight sort of drifting apart, or like there wasn't this feeling of wholeness or oneness for a time. And the King of Wands is suggesting, again, it's tying me back to this heart card, to this energy of passion and fire and being lit up. And so this to me is talking about feeling like there is this need to reinstate this personal power, to get you into this place where, or to, I should say, encourage you to move forward boldly, and to believe in the power of changing things around, regardless of what has happened, regardless of how long this period lasted, where things maybe were a bit more difficult, or where something got in the way. I feel like he's coming through to, again, encourage you and to reassure you that you have what it takes within you to move ahead boldly and self-assuredly. And with the Devil in reverse being the underlying energy here, again, this is all about liberating yourself from all of the negative self-talk, the attachments to any like shadowy or negative ways of thinking, I want to say. But this can again talk about habits or choices or anything like that. But the Devil in reverse very strongly also hints at becoming free of some negative holds, or setting yourself free and taking back personal power. So this whole reading to me seems to be sort of powered by that desire to help you to find belief in yourself, to focus on the positive, to focus on all of the skills and the assets that you have, that you can use, that you can tap into to motivate yourself, to make yourself feel better, right? To focus again, to focus on the future and what is possible, and sort of make peace with what has been. So let's now take a look at what is the most important thing that Jesus wants you to know. Okay, we have the Eight of Coins with the Queen of Wands and the Seven of Swords as the underlying energy. Okay, so pile number one, we have the Eight of Coins and the Queen of Wands. And with these two cards, I feel like Jesus is saying that one of the most important things is to just take one day at a time, one little task at a time, one foot in front of the other, and trying to make this new habit or this recommitment to this thing as easy for yourself as possible. So yeah, just taking these little tiny baby steps and keep going at it, keep focusing on again, as I said, making that thing as easy for yourself as possible so that you could make it a sustainable sort of thing for you. Also with the Queen of Wands, first off, you have such sort of power and magnetism, and this newfound light, this passion that you are being driven by right now. I feel like Jesus is urging you to use it and to actually trust that with your beautiful light that is being lit up right now, you have the ability to attract the right sort of people to you. So I feel like you don't actually have to do it alone. There is something about being this magnetizing force and being able to inspire other people as well. So help is available if you need it, or even if it's simply people to cheer you on, or people to encourage you, or people to give you further motivation to keep going. But I also feel that there is a message with both of these cards together, that building up your sort of self-esteem to its fullest state is going to take a bit of time. It's going to be a process. And again, it's going to be this accumulation of these little tiny rituals or steps or tasks that you do every single day. And it's all going to build up to this one point where you feel unbeatable. The process of like building yourself up to the place where you are fully in love with who you are and how you are, and feeling confident in all of your magnetism. I feel like it's this beautiful process, but you can absolutely get there. Now, with the 7 of Swords being the underlying energy here, I feel like there may be certain temptations to kind of sabotage yourself. That's something that's coming through. But also I feel like you are so much stronger than any of these temptations. And yeah, I feel like if you kind of stick to your lane and keep doing what you are doing, then you cannot be rattled. Let's also take a look at what sort of advice do they have for you for your highest good. Okay. And at the bottom of the deck, we still have the Devil in reverse. Okay, so we have the High Priestess, the Chariot, and the underlying energy, the Devil in reverse. Okay, so first off with the High Priestess, I love that we actually got the card out as well. This is all about trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, and trusting your inner wisdom. You are so much more in tune with what is actually good for you and what is actually right for you than you know. So again, don't get easily rattled or distracted, or, you know, if anyone is telling you that they know better and they are telling you what they think that you should do, if anyone is trying to micromanage you, then stick true to what you believe is right. If they are giving you good advice and you actually resonate with it, and you feel that it may be something that is good for you to try, then of course, absolutely go ahead. But if what someone else is saying to you is feeling like it's not something that you feel works for you, then trust your own gut, trust your own intuition. We also have the Chariot here. And so again, this is all about willpower. This is all about staying on track and believing that you have what it takes within you to be successful, to go all the way with this thing that you are so driven and so passionate and so motivated to pursue. And also whenever the Chariot comes out, I always get the feeling that this pursuit, this thing that you are moving towards, this path, it is supported by the divine. It's something that Spirit is also urging you to follow through with. So I feel like it's not just that you sort of have this personal inner drive. Spirit is also encouraging you along and sort of making it easier for you to overcome any obstacles and challenges. And again, with the Devil being the underlying energy coming out in reverse once again, it's saying that all of these external things, they don't have power over you. You are much more empowered than you maybe even give yourself credit for. So don't forget that. Don't forget your own personal autonomy. And I just want to show you all 3 of these cards together because I love the way that these are depicted, with the Devil being the last card here, and both the Chariot and the High Priestess sort of sailing away and moving towards a different direction, and leaving this Devil energy behind them, leaving that in the past. I absolutely love that. So again, I feel like this advice that is coming through is re-emphasizing how important it is to remember that you have already cut ties and chosen to turn things around, chosen to do things differently. So really, the past doesn't have power over you anymore. But pile number 1, those were the messages that were coming through from Jesus. And we are going to close the reading out with a last affirmation card. And this is just going to be something for you to focus on. So let's see. Okay. Wow. So we have self-worth. Okay. I'm going to read that card in a second, but I just want to read the underlying energy too, because I'm loving that there are all of these mages on the cards here. So the underlying energy says support. I look at the vast network of support in my life and I'm reminded of what a superpower it gives me. At any moment, I can call on an army of top-notch people who want the best for me, which means I'm basically invincible. Oh my God, wasn't that coming through with the Queen of Wands energy too? I can't remember exactly the message that was coming through, but like something about you like building yourself up and becoming unbeatable or something. And also about like attracting support. That's so crazy. Okay, take that loneliness. Run for the hills, boredom. I'm sorry, what did you say to me? Pervasive, all-consuming anxiety? Damn right you didn't. Okay, yeah, sorry if I didn't give the message that this card is saying, the flair that it deserves. But yeah, I'm trying to preserve my energy as little as I have it right now. But the card that you actually got is self-worth. I cast off all concerns about what people think of me. I know I'm a totally kick-ass person, and my kick-assness can never be diminished by rejection. So people can think what they think and feel what they feel. In the meantime, I'll just keep on knowing what I know without thinking about what they are thinking about what I already know, I think. So yeah, see, I feel like this card is a massive, massive confirmation about the energy that was coming through initially about this whole reading being more so focused on you and your connection with yourself and you building up this level of self-worth, self-appreciation, starting to feel good about yourself again, or starting to work on making yourself feel better about yourself, all of those sorts of things. So yeah, I really, really love this message for you. And again, the main focus for you, self-worth, pile number 1. I love it. But I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so, so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for listening to these messages. I truly hope that they gave you something, that it was at the very least interesting for you to listen to. And if you are still here, by the way, if you made it all the way to this point, then, oh my goodness, sorry, I just noticed, oh my God, how did I not see that before? Wow, this is insane. Do you see that on the shirt that Jesus is wearing, there is also a heart that is on fire? Oh my God, how crazy is that? Oof, oof. I love when those things happen. I absolutely love it. This is insane. Okay, I'm over it. I promise. But yeah, wow, okay, I guess that's a sign. So leave me a heart that is on fire. Yeah, leave that emoji to me in the comment section so that I would know that you watched this thing all the way through, that you got something from this reading, and yeah, that you had fun. I really love connecting with you in the comment section, so I hope to see you there. And as always, I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. But in the meantime, please take care of yourselves and be good. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 2. My name is Helen and I want to thank you for choosing to spend your time with me. Now, I'm going to get to the cards in a second, I promise, but I just wanted to give you a little heads up that I have a slight cold, and so my nose is a bit stuffy and my energy reserves are somewhat low. So I'm going to do my best to get these messages out for you as fluently and swiftly as I can, but please bear with me. So yeah, and also if my voice is a bit weird, that's why. But let's get to the cards. So you chose the Autumn Miss Tarot, and we are going to get to the cards in a bit. First, we are going to take a look at the oracle cards that have been pre-prepared for your pile so that we could get an overview of what it is that you are currently dealing with. What sort of energy are you most sort of predominantly in? And based on these messages, it should be somewhat easier for you to decide whether this is your pile or not. So yeah, let's see. Okay, we have series. We have archway and transition. Moonstruck. Spiral and growth. And the 9th house. Okay, so pile number 2. Wow, the energy coming through from these cards is so beautiful and so serene. I actually want to start off with a very specific sort of message, because I feel that someone here may have recently become a mother or are currently pregnant. So yeah, that may be something that is also the cause of this sort of shift in perspective that is coming through from these cards. But let's get straight to it. So I'm gonna jump ahead from the series card for a bit and focus on this archway card, which, as it says, is talking about transition. And it definitely feels that you are currently in this process of becoming a slightly new version of yourself. I don't feel like you are completely doing a 180 or something like that. It doesn't seem to be that radical, but it feels like you are simply, like this card says, stepping through an archway. You are entering a new energetic vibration, I want to say. And again, I'm jumping ahead to this spiral card with this beautiful seashell, which says growth. And with these two cards, it's clear that your focus right now is on development, that you are taking some steps or elevating your life to a new level some way. And most likely there is a lot of personal growth that is involved in this whole process. So it seems like you are shifting, you are changing, you are maturing. It feels like it's all really, really positive. I do want to point that out. But the reason why I feel that it's very much tied to you sort of personally, first and foremost, is because of this 9th house. And the 9th house in astrology is talking about beliefs and convictions and any religious views that you may have, but it's also talking about spirituality and just being connected to this higher wisdom, higher power, something that is bigger than the sort of the mundane realm. But it's also talking about, as I said, life philosophy and perspective of life in general, what it is that you resonate with on a spiritual level, what it is that you believe in, and again, how you make sense of the world around you. What are some of the core values that you navigate your life by? I feel like a lot of this growth and a lot of this transition is happening precisely in that area of life for you, in that domain. And so because of it, because there are all of these upgrades and changes and shifts that are happening in how you perceive the world and what you believe in, and again, what sort of values you wish to uphold, what sort of traditions you want to keep in your life, I feel like there are all of these external changes that are starting to come about as well. But I feel like, as I said, the energy of this serenity is coming through very strongly. And I feel like it's because of these two cards. With the Moonstruck and Ceres actually too, both of these cards are quite similar in their energy. And they're talking about being attentive, noticing these beautiful things in life, noticing how life can be abundant, how life can be giving and generous and sweet and caring, focusing on these good things. And also again, the series is a very strong archetype of the mother, of the nurturer. And so that's why I felt that someone here may recently have become a parent, or I said mother, but of course it can be a father energy too. It's just coming through very feminine, this series energy. But again, take it as it resonates. So if you have recently become a parent, I feel like that in and of itself changes your worldview and your perspective, and again, your values radically, or at least it does for most people. And so both of these cards are filled with this really beautiful and loving and positive and optimistic energies. So even if you haven't recently become a parent, or you are not pregnant, it's just talking about this desire to focus more on the good, to find more beauty and find more meaning in your life. I feel like it's almost this wanting to turn over a new leaf, having this sort of switch in your mind where you're trying to incorporate things and people and energies, like habits, all of those things that help you to vibrate more highly, that help you to stay in this positivity, in this optimistic way of being and thinking. And I have to say, even though we don't have any Jupiter cards here, this whole energy feels very Jupiterian. It feels, again, hopeful. It feels like the future is open, like your life has started today, and there are all of these new options, new opportunities. And I also feel that there is so much new appreciation for your life as it is. And I feel like that's also something that further feeds into your desire to bring more of this gratitude and beauty and generosity and compassion and all of those beautiful traits into your life. So it's, yeah, it is like this beautiful spiral that just keeps like growing and growing and growing. So I really love this energy that is coming through, because as I said, it just feels so sweet and peaceful and serene and so calm. And I'm not saying that your life has to be like calm and serene and everything has to be perfect, not at all. But I just feel like that's how you are currently choosing to view things. That's how you are choosing to deal with things. So even if there are issues, even if there are problems and obstacles and challenges, you are choosing to stay calm and peaceful and mindful and approach issues like that. So pile number 2, oh my goodness, I feel like I could just keep talking and I have to kind of pull away from this, again, this beautiful, beautiful energy. But if that is something that you are resonating with, if you are recognizing yourself in this description, then most likely this is your pile. And stick around, because now we are going to get to the most juicy part of the reading, the main part of this reading, which is going to be all about the either the divinity or the angel that wishes to come through and speak to you today. So actually, before we do that, let's get the these cards out of the way, so we would have space. There we go. Okay, so let's see who wishes to speak to you today. Oh wow. Okay, we have Horus, clear seeing, intention, and perspective. Ooh. And now I also want to read a quick little description of this deity from the guidebook, so that we could have a better understanding of the energy that is coming through today. Horus is an ancient Egyptian sky god who is depicted as a falcon or a man with the head of a falcon. The eye of Horus is traditionally used as a powerful protection amulet and a symbol of seeing, spiritual sight, and healing. Horus is known as a god of kingship, war, the sun and moon, perception, perspective, and intention, and he is the consort of Hathor. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name, by the way. Whenever you need to see things more clearly, call on Horus. Okay, yeah, so I'm kind of not surprised actually that we're getting this sort of energy wishing to speak with you today, because as we already saw from the oracle cards, that there is clearly a shift in your perspective and your perception of the world in general. So yeah, loving this. But let's get to some tarot cards as well. And first, let's take a look at why this specific deity wanted to come out and speak to you today. Oh, okay. So we have the World in reverse with the Knight of Wands in reverse and the Eight of Wands as the underlying energy. Okay, so pile number 2. I feel that the reason why Horus specifically is coming through today is because there may still be some things from your previous sort of bigger life chapter that may be hindering you, that may be slowing you down, that may be potentially a cause of trip up for you. Especially with the Knight of Wands in reverse, there may be this energy of either deterring you or causing you to lose your focus, lose your vision. And so I feel that with the Eight of Wands being the underlying energy here, Horus wants you to move ahead or move along as smoothly and swiftly and as obstacle-free as possible, so that you could truly make strides in stepping into this new sort of timeline for yourself. So, okay, now that we know why Horus wanted to come through, let's see what is the most important message that they have for you. Okay, so we have the Three of Wands, the Page of Swords, and Temperance as the underlying energy. Okay, pile number 2. So one of the messages that is coming through here with the Three of Wands and the Page of Swords is that as much as you are excited and optimistic and open-minded about the future and everything that it has to offer, it's also important to keep a clear head, right? With the Page of Swords, this is asking you to be slightly skeptical, to remain somewhat on guard and cautious about things. Of course, having optimism, having this belief that things are going to work out well for you, it's a beautiful, beautiful trait to have, and it's something that pushes you to even go ahead and try, right? It's this motivational force, and it's a necessary one. But the Page of Swords is a very clear reminder to also do your due diligence, to check into the background of things, to do some research, to dig into maybe some more hidden layers, something that isn't very apparent, something that isn't told to you outright, something that is maybe even hinted at between the lines, right? Trying to get a fuller picture, get as many facts as you can, as many of the information that is available to you as you can before making true commitments, right? So not jumping into things head first just because they sound good or just because they feel like they could be some sort of exciting avenues for you. So with the Temperance card being the underlying energy here, practicing moderation is really the main message. Staying mindful and balancing out this level of optimism with a dose of clarity and a critical mind. But I also feel a somewhat different message here that is almost like completely opposite to the previous one. So just see which one you resonate with more. But for some of you, the issue is actually the other way around. Some of you may be a bit too cautious or too suspicious of things when it comes to stepping out of the things that you know, right? It's all well and good to find beauty and to find meaning and appreciation in the things that you already have in your life, but there is also the need to every now and again push the boundaries, right? Or push the envelope, however you want to say it. Step slightly out of your comfort zone and see what else is out there, right? With the Three of Wands, there is this need to venture forward, to expand your horizons. And the Page of Swords is hinting at someone here maybe being slightly too guarded in that respect, you know, being a bit too suspicious of things that you are not familiar with, things that you haven't tried before, things that are not common to you or that are not local to you, especially if there is anything related to like traveling or foreign countries, foreign cultures, foreign beliefs, anything like that. It may be something that you are somewhat hesitant to explore, but yeah, I feel that of course a small dose of, again, rationality and keeping a clear head is a good thing. But if you never allow yourself to try anything new because you already, before even giving something a try, decide that it's not right for you or that it's not good for you because again, it's foreign to you, you maybe don't know that much about it, or it's just scary and unfamiliar, then that may be something to try and again, like balance out with a healthy dose of curiosity, right? Because again, remember this Temperance, it's all about balancing out one sort of level of extreme and bringing back this sense of equilibrium, right? Or keeping things in check, keeping things in balance. If you find yourself veering off too much in one direction, then pulling yourself back towards another direction is something that is very much recommended here, especially for the best way for you to make strides and move forward. But let's also see what sort of advice Horus has for you right now for your highest good. Okay, interesting. So we have the Four of Pentacles, the Eight of Swords, and the underlying energy is the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so the first thing that I'm being drawn to for some reason is the number 3, because we now have 3 threes in this reading. The World card, which is number 21, reduces down to 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. We have the Three of Wands, and we also have the Three of Pentacles. So you have 3, 3, 3. So on the one hand, if you see repeating number 3s, that may be a sign to you that, you know, Spirit is with you, God is with you, your spiritual team is with you, whomever you resonate with, that these divine forces are with you and they are supporting your growth. And just in general, more broadly, the number 3 is all about expansion and growth and sort of opening up and widening your horizons. So I definitely feel that that is the main theme of this reading. Now, I want to start off with the Four of Pentacles and the Eight of Swords. And with these two cards, I feel like Horus is really advising you to consider your resources, because whenever you feel that you may not have exactly what it takes, or that you may be lacking something yourself, even if, again, with the Four of Pentacles, you may feel that you have lots of certain resources. Again, there is this whole energy of being grateful for what you have and finding beauty and meaning and value in your life as it is. But if you feel that there is something that you are maybe not able to do yourself, or where you sort of fall short in some regard, then the Three of Pentacles here is recommending you to reach out, to unify your forces with someone, even if it's simply to ask for some advice, to ask for someone else's expertise. Maybe they have certain experience regarding something that you are wanting to try or something that you are thinking about. Maybe they can help you out in that way. Or maybe there is actual, again, physical ways in which they can sort of help you and join you in whatever it is that you are doing. So just remember that you are not alone, and that you don't have to do things all on your own. And again, I feel a very strong emphasis on having resources to use. So it's just a matter of refocusing and seeing things in a new way, maybe opening up your mind to certain opportunities and resources that are available to you that you may not maybe recognize as such right now. But I definitely feel that there are resources, and I feel like Horus is really suggesting you to make use of those, especially when there is something that you are maybe even too scared to try. If there are any hesitations that you are experiencing with this Eight of Swords, there may be some internal limitations, something that is holding you back, especially when it comes to trying something new that you haven't before. In that case, I feel this Three of Pentacles is really important, because it's saying that there could be someone around you, or at least there is someone that you can turn to, that you can reach out to, who has gone through something similar, or who has experienced what it is that you are maybe afraid to try out. And I feel like they can really give you some solid advice and some solid encouragement. So turning to them for how to best go about something, how to best try something out so that you wouldn't make maybe the same mistakes that they made. So it's almost like learning from someone else's experience and someone else's mistakes. And that could be really, really beneficial for you. So I almost want to say with the Four of Pentacles that the advice is to add on to the already existing abundance that you have, already existing resources that you have, growing them even more. But I feel like it may be growing them through experience and through like fostering these relationships, which I feel could be really, really beneficial. But pile number 2, let's close the reading out with a last closing message. This is going to be a beautiful affirmation message, something for you to focus on, okay? Something that you can take away from this reading. So let's see what we get. Okay, so we have reliability. Okay, let's keep this card for now, because I also want to read the underlying energy. This one says, benefit of the doubt. I believe in the basic goodness of other people, and I give them the chance to show it. If they prove me wrong, that's on them. At least I can go to sleep knowing that I practice trust and forgiveness rather than fear and doubt. And later on, if I need to, I can always change my mind and retroactively judge them like it's my career. Oh, wow. These cards have such a cheekiness to them. I love them. But yeah, benefit of the doubt. See, I feel like this is such a potent message for the message that was coming through earlier around maybe being a bit too suspicious of things that you are not familiar with, right? So it feels like it's very much tied to that, and urging you to give things a chance, to give, again, new people, new circumstances, new things a chance. Yeah, so cool message. But the card that you got is reliability. I am reliable. When I say I'll do something, I take whatever that something is seriously. This applies to all commitments, even the ones that may have seemed small and insignificant to a less reliable me. From now on, flaking is just for dandruff commercials and cereal factories. Okay, yeah. So I feel like, this is just a reminder to practice reliability and to practice staying true to your word. I feel like, again, it's tied to potentially this level of fear or hesitation or doubt creeping up, which is completely understandable. If you're trying something new and you don't know what to expect, and you are maybe somewhat unsure whether you have what it takes or whether you have it in you to go through with it, it can be very easy to want to go back on your word, or to want to change your mind. And I mean, of course, changing your mind is allowed, right? It's a completely normal thing to do. But yeah, when it comes to promises and commitments, yeah, this is a really good reminder to be mindful of the promises that you make. Because if you're not sure that you can actually keep that promise, then it may be better to not make it. It might also be a really good practice to give yourself, not necessarily even other people, but to give yourself these little promises and these little tasks that you are going to push yourself to go through with. Again, especially if it's something that you have mentally limited yourself on, right? Saying that you can't do it or something like that. Just taking these little steps and pushing yourself a little further every single time and proving yourself that you are capable. So pile number 2, I am going to leave it here. I truly hope that something in this reading resonated. I hope that it was fun and interesting for you to listen to. And if you are still here, by the way, if you made it all the way to this point, then leave me a little seashell emoji in the comment section. Or is it a sea conch or whatever it is? I will leave it on the screen. So yeah, please leave that in the comment section so that I would know that you made it all the way to this point and you watched this thing all the way through and that you found something fun or meaningful from it. I always love seeing you in the comment section and connecting with you there. So yeah, hopefully I get to connect with you. I also hope to see you back on the channel next Friday for some more messages, insight and fun. And in the meantime, please take care of yourselves and be good. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading pile number 3. My name is Helen and I am so thankful that you have chosen to spend your time with me. Now, I have to give a quick disclaimer. I promise I'm going to make it really quick and then we'll get to your reading. I am somewhat under the weather. I have a slight cold and stuffy nose and all of the good stuff that goes along with it. So if you can hear that my voice is somewhat strange and that my energy levels are maybe not what they usually are, then that is the reason why. But I'm going to do my best to get these messages out for you and to make this a meaningful reading for you. So anyway, now that that's out of the way, let's get into it. We are going to take a look at the tarot deck that you chose in a bit, but we are first going to get these oracle cards out on the desk and take a look at the energies coming through here. These cards are going to describe what it is that you are currently going through, what sort of energy are you most predominantly in, and based on the messages coming through here, it should be somewhat easier for you to determine whether this is really your pile or not. So let's see. Okay, we have Pluto, full moon and culmination, Arcturus, we have Triskel, I hope I'm saying it right, and change, and Libra. Okay, pile number 3. I feel a really sort of a strong energy coming through from this pile. It feels quite intense, so it feels like if this is your pile, most likely your life is kind of intense right now. So let's start off with Pluto, and I'm actually going to jump ahead here to this change card because both Pluto and change are hinting at some sort of a transformation that has taken place, especially Pluto because it's such a powerful and life-altering planet. The energy of Pluto is one of death and rebirth. It usually talks about things going through this massive transformation and coming out completely different on the other side. But Pluto is the sort of planet that brings about necessary destruction, things that need to come down for the truth of the matter to really come to the surface, especially if there is anything that is unaligned or that is corrupt or corrupted, I should say. That is all in the domain of Pluto and what Pluto sort of unveils. So it can be quite, again, intense, quite severe, the energy of Pluto, but ultimately it's all in the name of good. And I definitely feel that that there is something that has sort of come to a close, or that has reached some sort of boiling point with this full moon card here. So clearly, pile number 3, currently your life is in a place where something has reached its limit, or where there has come some sort of a breaking point. Things have come to a head, I even want to say. And I do feel that very heavily this whole thing is tied to your relationships. It can very much be something that is affecting your family life or your family dynamic, or maybe your home life. But it feels like it's talking about kind of relationships in general because of this Libra card here. So actually I'm going to take both of these cards. The Arcturus card is more so talking about family and like relational bonds, but it can talk about bonds with your friends or with your loved ones too. And Libra is basically all sorts of relationships, how you relate to other people, you and the other. The energy here is that there is definitely some sort of change that you have experienced, either within your family dynamic, within your significant relationship dynamic, or if this change has been a personal one, then it's clearly something that is affecting your relationships too, the most meaningful relationships in your life, and it's something that you are having to deal with right now. So I'm getting a couple of more sort of specific messages here. It could be that for some of you, there has been a personal sort of tower moment that you have experienced, and both of these cards may simply be hinting at you having this strong support from your family, from your friends, from your loved ones, and you're really needing to rely on them at this time and use their support and use their love and care and help to get through this sort of shifting and trying time. But I'm also feeling that there may be someone here who is actually leaving home for the first time, or who is maybe moving out and starting their own family. So it could be, and not necessarily that you are procreating or anything like that, even though that can be the case for someone here too. But I just feel that it may be this step or this transition in life when you leave your family home and you move in with a significant other, or maybe you again start focusing more on your own sort of relationship and starting to create your own little family dynamic with a special someone, right? So that may be also this sort of big change or transformation that these cards are talking about. It could also be that there is a significant milestone that you are going through with a significant other, right? With this Libra energy, it can hint at a romantic connection. And so if you have a special someone, if you are living together with a partner, if you are engaged, if you are married, or anything like that, if you already have a family, it could simply mean that there is something that you are deciding to change in that dynamic. Maybe you have thought of maybe you are thinking of taking things to the next level. So if you are not in a fully committed relationship yet, maybe you are thinking of getting engaged, or maybe you are thinking of moving in together. Maybe you are thinking of buying a house, or investing in some sort of property together. Maybe you are thinking of starting a business together. Maybe you are thinking of, again, starting a family, or getting married, or anything like that. It could be that you are deciding to take some sort of a bigger step in your life, and that is also changing your family relations as well, or that may be something that causes a shift, or that has caused a shift in your family dynamics as well. Because as I said, this Pluto brings about a very intense sort of energy, and so I feel like there is a slight caveat or a slight nuance to this shift and change that you are going through. It feels like there is something somewhat challenging about it, whether it's you or whether it's a family member, whether it's a loved one, whether it's a friend, whether it's a colleague or a sibling or whoever. It seems like someone is having a hard time with this transition and with potentially accepting how things are changing and the direction that they are moving in right now. Maybe this transition is even happening within your own relationship. So maybe it's not necessarily that you are taking the next step. Maybe it's that you are facing some difficulty, and maybe there has been some tension that has been going on for quite a while, and now it's sort of starting to blow up, or again come to a head of sorts, and you have to sort of deal with it in order to get rid of this tension and move on in whatever direction that is. But whatever the case, as I said, with this Pluto energy, it definitely feels like there is a level of intensity here, and this change feels quite significant, like it is completely changing the way that you have lived your life up to this point. But pile number 3, that is the energy that is coming through from these cards. In a way, it felt quite like specific, but of course, there are so many ways in which these energies could resonate. So if you recognize yourself from any of these scenarios or from this general description, then it's a very good chance that this is your reading. And definitely stay tuned, because now we are going to dig into the actual main part of the reading. And we're going to start off with looking at which angel or divinity wishes to speak to you today. So let's see. Oh, wow. Okay, we have Archangel Jeremiel. I am so sorry if I am butchering the names. I have a hard time with pronouncing names. Okay, we have dreams, visions, and reflections. That are the keywords on this card. And I also want to read from the guidebook so that we could better understand the energy that is coming through today. I'm going to try and keep this in the frame. Archangel Jeremiel's name means mercy of God, and he is the angel who assists with life reviews at the end of our lives here on earth. But you don't have to wait until it's over. You can start reviewing, reflecting, and making changes right here and right now. Archangel Jeremiel can help you to see the bigger picture, see potential futures and possible timelines, guiding you towards the choices and paths that are most in alignment with your best and highest good and your divine highest destiny. Archangel Jeremiel is the angel of dreams, visions, clairvoyance, and new beginnings. Wow. Okay, this is kind of profound, because I do feel that this whole energy, as sort of loaded with intensity as it was, is clearly talking about some sort of new beginning, right? A new step that you are taking. Maybe Archangel Jeremiel is here to help you in choosing the best path forward, or choosing the vision that you want to manifest. But I am kind of getting ahead of myself here, because it's now time to get to the tarot cards and take a look at why exactly, or specifically, this archangel is wanting to talk to you today. So let's see. Oh, okay. So we have the Page of Wands, the Hanged Man, and the Queen of Pentacles as the underlying energy. I feel that with the Page of Wands and the Hanged Man, I kind of, as I already said, I kind of got ahead of myself, but I do feel with this Page of Wands specifically that this Archangel is coming through because they want to inspire you. They want to give you certain new ideas on how to move forward and think bigger when it comes to the options available to you, the new path that you are about to embark upon, this new vision that you want to create for yourself, because the Page of Wands and the wand suit in general is very much tied to vision and creativity and inspiration in general. And especially with the Hanged Man, this is saying that there may be certain opportunities that you may not have thought of yourself because they may be somewhat different or kind of out of the box. So just to give you a different sort of perspective on things, I feel like that's really why this Archangel is coming through. And the Queen of Pentacles is the underlying energy, and really the main energy that I'm feeling here is one of long-term consequences or long-term rewards, because most likely this path that you are creating for yourself now, or this new journey that you are going to start embarking upon, it's most likely going to be for long term. It's not going to be this temporary thing. That's why they are coming through, to help you make the best, most useful and most promising and rewarding choices. But now that we know why they came through today, let's take a look at what is the most important message that they have for you. Okay. We have the Queen of Pentacles that still wanted to come out. We also have the Ten of Cups, and the underlying energy is the Fool. Okay, so pile number 3, I feel a very strong message with the Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. And I feel that the most important message that Archangel Jeremiel has for you is one of nurturing your relationships, especially the truly supportive familial bonds. Again, it doesn't have to be your biological family if you have a strained relationship with them, if you are not that close, and if they are not a source of support and love and joy in your life. Then this is most likely talking about your chosen family, the friends and loved ones that you have chosen to call your family. The Ten of Cups is simply talking about this feeling of belonging, this feeling of soul tribe energy, where again, you are supported and loved and appreciated and cherished and seen for who you are. And the Queen of Pentacles is all about, again, taking care of those, nurturing those, giving them time, giving them your resources, giving them your attention as well. So when it comes to this new path that you are deciding to go on, or that you are, all of these changes that you are making, or this transformation that you are undergoing, right? We have the Fool as the underlying energy. So clearly a very big and significant new beginning is something that you are either already going through, or it's something that you are about to take up. And I feel like you are going to need your loved ones' support. So if you can, try and keep them in mind, and again, to not neglect them, to not forget about them, to not leave them aside as you are embarking on this new journey, because again, they are invaluable. And there are definitely going to be times when you are going to want their support, where you are going to want their presence and their alliance, and so valuing those connections and doing what you can to keep them healthy and thriving and looked after is something that is really, really important. And maybe this is more of a specific message, but I feel like it may be tied to one of the scenarios where maybe you are having very difficult relationships, or where there may be certain people in your family or just around you, again, some of your loved ones who are maybe having a very difficult time with the changes that you are making. With the Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups, this can also say that as you are taking on this new journey, you may want to focus on sharing your energy with the people that truly do have your back and that give you these good vibes, good energy, that are there for you, that are wanting the best for you, that are really giving you a lot of this positive and uplifting energy. And yeah, sort of creating the loving network, the family or the support system that you need. But let's also see what sort of advice does this Archangel have for you for your highest good. Okay. Interesting. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Cups. So the Ace of Swords came out, the Seven of Swords came out, and the underlying energy, as I already said, is the Queen of Cups. So I feel that the advice here is really one of honesty and being quite transparent with what you are thinking of, what you are feeling, what you are wanting to do, and potentially all of these new things that you are deciding to try, or the new direction that you have chosen for yourself. Especially with the Seven of Swords, especially if it's something that you feel some hesitancy in sharing with your loved ones. There may be this desire to do some things kind of more secretly, or behind someone's back or something like that, because I feel like it's not something that is done out of like maliciousness or anything like that. It's just because you may be afraid of their reaction, or you may want to keep a sort of a clear focus so that you wouldn't be distracted, or you wouldn't be talked out of something. But just being truth and forthcoming and honest is the best policy here. And I'm also thinking of the energy that is in between these two cards, because they came out together, and between the Ace of Swords and the Seven of Swords is the Six of Swords. So it's all about this transition to a calmer, more smooth way of being. So if this more like secretive or keeping things to yourself dynamic has been something that has been more prevalent in your relationships, again, especially I feel like that's the case for those of you who have a strained relationship with your family, or if there is some sort of a tension with your loved ones, then I feel like it's this keeping things to yourself, or trying to do things secretly, maybe something that like really triggers someone or sets something off, and it's really not necessary. I feel that's the message that is coming through here. It would be a lot easier, and maybe even create a much better dynamic for the future as well, if you were to just be open and honest. Again, we also have this Queen of Cups that was coming through as the underlying energy. It's hinting at tapping into your conscience and going about it through a heart-driven space. So keeping in mind the connections and relationships that you want to keep healthy and thriving and functional at the most basic level. Trying to be more inclusive when it comes to your relationships, like your specific plans and these ideas that you have, including other people into it, at least like keeping them in the loop. It's not saying that you have to take their ideas on board if you don't want to, or that you have to allow them to persuade you or influence you in any way, but just giving them a heads up of what it is that you are thinking, what it is that you are planning, what it is that you are doing. And through that gesture, just letting them know that you are keeping them in mind, that you are taking them into consideration. And that can be a really, really powerful gesture, and really do a lot to smooth over this, maybe this like tense or electrified energy. But okay, pile number 3. I feel that my runny nose is starting to get worse. So let's wrap this thing up. We are going to get one last message. This is a beautiful affirmation message, a closing message that you can take away from this reading. So let's see what Archangel Jeremiel wants you to focus on. Okay, I feel like this one. This one flew out, and it was on the... There was a bunch of cards that flew out, but this one was at the bottom. So yeah, let's keep this one. And we also have perspective. This is one of the bonus cards. So I'm going to read this to you as well. Okay, perspective. What does a hawk see when it flies over your house, besides the family of mice living nearby that you don't know about? What will your current problems, conflicts, complaints look like when you're 80 years old and you gaze back on the timeline of your life? In this moment, you are being given the gift of clear perspective, of knowing that in the end, everything is going to be probably much better than okay. Think large enough and even big issues become small. Become an 80-year-old hawk and you're really onto something. Yeah, I love these cards. They are so funny and quirky, and I feel like they have this lighthearted energy, but they do still pack a punch and have these meaningful messages in them. So yeah, if you want to go over this message again, if you want to read it for yourself, you can pause the screen. But yeah, this message of zooming out, of perspective, I really, really love it. Okay, and the card that you actually got is appreciation. I appreciate the unique ways other people show their love, rather than compare their ways with my ways. Then, I appreciate myself for maturely putting up with people who just can't seem to show love the normal, obvious, universally accepted way. Good job, both of us. Oh my God, I feel like this card is so on the nose, because clearly this whole reading, this whole energy that has been coming through is very much tied to a difference of energies and difference of reactions, but still clearly this relationship, or these relationships that are coming through here, are ones that are very, very important to you. And yeah, it feels like it's just a bit of a hiccup that you are experiencing. But yeah, appreciation, focusing on appreciation and the bigger perspective is something that Archangel Jeremiel wants you to take with you from this reading. But wow, pile number 3, I'm going to leave it here. I hope that this reading spoke to you. I hope that it gave you something useful, something meaningful, that it was at least interesting for you to listen to. If you are still here, by the way, you can leave me a moon emoji down in the comment section, because I'm looking at these moons here. And actually even on the card, on the Archangel card, there is a little crescent moon on the shirt here too. So yeah, can you see it? Hopefully you can see it. So yeah, it feels like the moon is a very significant symbol here. So yeah, if I see that in the comment section, I would know that you made it all the way to this point, and I can connect with you and yeah, just see how you resonated with the reading. It always makes me so happy to see. So thank you so very much if that is you. And also, I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight and fun. And hopefully I will be feeling a lot better by then as well. But yeah, take care and bye-bye.